As I mentioned earlier, in a totally shocking move, earlier today, the state of Texas filed an election lawsuit with the U.S. Supreme Court against Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin. They allege that these four states unconstitutionally changed their election laws, treated voters unequally, and enabled significant voting irregularities by relaxing the measures that kept elections secure. Now here's the lawsuit right here, and you know it's going to be good when it starts off with, right after the table of contents, a quote from John Adams. And it reads, "That form of government which is best contrived to secure an impartial and exact execution of the law is the best of republics." Now, impartial and exact execution of the law, that is exactly what Texas is accusing these four states of not doing. So what remedy is Texas asking for specifically? Well, basically, they're asking the Supreme Court for two things. The first is to make the determination that the way in which Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin conducted the 2020 election violated the U.S. Constitution. And secondly, as a remedy to that, Texas is asking the Supreme Court to not allow the counting of the Electoral College votes cast by these four states. And this would be a very big deal because the cumulative amount of electoral votes from these four states are enough to determine the outcome of the election. Now let's discuss what's happening over in Pennsylvania. And to give you a bit of context, the Trump campaign team's strategy, as stated by Jenna Ellis, is currently twofold. One is that they're working on trying to get their lawsuits in front of the Supreme Court, and two, at the same time, they're lobbying the state legislatures in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, and Pennsylvania to choose their own electors to send to the Electoral College. That's one of the main reasons that they're holding all of these public election fraud hearings in those states. Now, up to today, there have only been two cases that are nearing the Supreme Court. The first one is the one we just talked about in Texas, and the second one is in Pennsylvania. Now, we discussed in yesterday's episode, and I'll throw the link to that right here in the top right corner for you to check out,